All right, here's another surprise live here on all the platforms. And I just wanted to thank everyone that's been purchasing from the book collection. There's 10 books now available on drkevinreese.com. And exciting news that the Red Book has finally been approved for Audible. It took 2 months. Levi, why did it take 2 months? Maybe there's maybe there's a conspiracy behind it, maybe not, but it is now available. You can now listen to all 10 books. That's all on drkevinreese.com. So thank you so much for reading these books, for listening to these books, passing these books around. But today we are going to do a surprise live. I am joined by our nutrition specialist inside of the Head to Toe Healing membership, Coach Ryan. He is here. Hi, Ryan.
Hello, everybody.
Why do you think it took so long for the Red Book to get approved? Why that one and not the others?
It's very odd. Usually it's more or less automatic, right? As long as there's not some kind of technical issue, it's usually approved right away. I don't know.
Yeah. But 2 months later, it's there. So they're all available. For everyone checking in right now, would love to know where you're checking in from. Put your locations up. Put your locations in the air. And if you've read the Red Book, put a Red Book emoji too. If you read the Red Book, put a Red Book emoji to gain 10 points. And Ryan will send you the prize. No, the prize is we're going to answer your questions in just a few minutes here. You know, shout out to everyone on the TT, the FB, the IG, the YT, the RUM. Is that all of them? Yeah. Any locations coming in?
We got Georgia, New Jersey, Louisiana, San Antonio, Texas,
Levi?
South Africa. Always South Africans involved.
Yeah.
British Columbia, Northern Virginia. A little bit of everything. Yeah, guys, put questions in on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you got, YouTube, whoever is watching. Put in questions. This live is all for you guys today.
I see Israel. I see North Carolina. I see Arizona. Nice.
Port St. Lucie. I don't know where that is. It's
Alberta, Canada. You close to Alberta?
Me?
Yeah.
No, other side of the country.
Okay.
And right now I'm in Texas.
Michigan, South Carolina, New York. All right. We got people from all over. Indy.
Yeah, Port St. Lucie is in Florida. I thought it was a Caribbean island that I never heard of.
Texas, Florida. All right. I don't see any Red Book emojis, though. Come on. You got to read the Red Book. If you're going to read one of my books, read the Red Book. It's right there. Florida, Ontario, Canada. There you go. There's a Red Book. I see a Red Book. All right. We got... That's on the TT. I don't know about the other platforms because I can't see.
We got one on Instagram.
Okay. All right. Comments and questions. We're ready. We have Ryan, Coach Ryan here. He is our nutrition specialist inside the Head to Toe Healing membership. And you have myself. So it's a good time to get it all in.
We've got 2 questions so far.
Okay.
First one is, I hear you speak a lot about reflux, which is true. We do speak a lot about reflux. I have it so bad. So it's bad to take the medication. I don't know if that's the question there because there's no question mark, or, you know, is it so bad that I have to take the medication question mark, or it's just a statement. It's so bad that I have to take the medication.
In our experience, yes, the medication's not a good idea. I'm assuming it's a proton pump inhibitor, and that's going to create a deficiency in stomach acid. So that's not what we want. we want stomach acid. And this information is all in the books and the videos that we put out. And Ryan, we need stomach acid. It's important, right?
Yeah, in fact, if you don't have strong stomach acid, there's no point of doing any supplements or diet at all, frankly. And that's it's one of the harshest things I ever have to say to people, but this comes up all the time. I'm trying to be honest here. There's no point of selling you supplements that you can't absorb. And the posture alignment therapy will help you still, because that's irrespective of nutrients. But nutrition will not help you at all.
Right.
If you're on a stomach acid lowering drug, or if you take Tums all the time, or if you're a soda-aholic, you're using carbonation all the time, lowering stomach acid. The truth is that's the only problem that we would focus on. And we do have a method to ease the discomfort if somebody is on the drugs and they choose to stop the drugs, because we're not allowed to tell anyone to take drugs or not. But if you choose to take it, it will most likely be uncomfortable for 2 to 6 weeks usually. Some people are able to get off of it no problem at all. There's just literally no issue. I just stopped it and I'm fine. But most people are uncomfortable for 2 to 6 weeks roughly. And we do have a method to ease that discomfort if you choose to get off of it. But yeah, if you have reflux, you're going to have other problems. If you don't have them yet, you will have them soon. And there is no point in doing a diet or any nutritional protocol if you don't fix the stomach acid. That's just how it is.
That's right. And when people sign up for our head to toe healing membership, one of the first things that they're going to do is the gut rescue. And so we're going to get their gut in order before we even move them on to the high powered vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acids. So fixing the stomach acid is part of that. And we do that automatically right away with all of our members.
Yeah, that's true for anyone. And a lot of people come in and they don't have many symptoms in the digestion category. Their bowel movements are fine and all that stuff. I'll still recommend the gut rescue just to make sure that we're doing the most we can to absorb nutrients when we do put them in, because we're going to put in a lot of nutrients in relatively high doses, lots of ingredients being used all at once, because these formulas, they have tons of stuff in them. So we want to make sure the system is as ready as it is, ready as it can be,
right,
to handle that.
Levi, you got any questions over there?
Yeah. Someone's asking, how can I make an appointment with Dr. Reese?
Well, very fortunately, there are no appointments. It's not necessary because we use a new lifestyle practice called head to toe healing. And so we teach people how to practice this, which brings your symptoms down and eventually has them disappear. So the whole model of needing appointments is absolutely irrelevant in what we do. If you're interested in learning about that and eventually setting up a call with the team, I know that sounds like an appointment, but it's, you have to talk to someone to build the relationship first. Consider it a relationship building call. Then you just go to drkevinreese.com/start. Or there's a button that says start now. You got to learn what head to toe healing is. We've completely remodeled the whole system. There's no appointments, there's no specialists, there's no merry-go-round, there's no surgeries, there's no drugs, right? There's no needing a doctor's note. None of that is needed because head to toe healing takes care of everything from head to toe. It doesn't matter what you have. It does not matter. So please get familiar with what we're doing by going to drkevinreese.com.
And most of these people may not know that, you guys used to do this differently before I came on. And in fact, it was the reason I couldn't come on, is because you had more of a one-on-one coaching kind of setup, which first of all was way more expensive, and it has to be for the customer. It has to be, because you can only handle so many people individually. But when we have it set up like this to help numerous people at once and have all the systems there already in place, where a lot of the times we're just pointing them towards, this rescue, and keep us updated sort of thing. They don't need that full-on one-on-one coaching Some people need a little bit more attention than others, but now we're available to give it to them as
Right.
needed.
Right.
It's a much better system and it's much more affordable for the customer, honestly.
Oh yeah. Now we used to charge $10,000, nearly $10,000. So now it's just crazy affordable, and we're going for volume. But it's working. People are healing. You can see the testimonies right on the page. I mean, it's right there. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. So and because nobody's ever seen anything like it, it's hard to promote. It's like selling dishwashers to cave people.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of other programs out there. I've been in this business over 10 years. There's tons of these types of programs, but not head to toe healing, but join us, we'll help you with your whatever. Everything from, exercise to gut rescue programs and optimization, optimize your brain function and all these types of things. Most of them cost more. Actually, almost every single one of them that I've ever looked at costs more than currently the price of the Head to Toe Healing membership, first of all. Second of all, absolutely none of them come anywhere close to giving the amount of value that's in the program.
Crazy value. And the reason why we do it like that is we want people to hang out for life. Because this is your health insurance replacement, essentially. It's a head to toe healing. Once you understand what it is and the light bulb goes off, you're going to realize that you need this for life. Next question.
Well, quickly, this guy Jeffrey was saying, Ryan, you never answered me. What product did you get for your arthritis? Jeffrey, I answered you twice yesterday. I responded to the comment. What product? Maybe I didn't respond to that one. I had to jump off last night. We don't want to give specific products here. And I don't like doing it in my own life anyways as well. I like to stay away from naming the products because the reason we stay away from it is because you are probably going to want to go and run and buy that one product. And that product did work for me, but I didn't tell you the whole story. I was on another product that had the rest of the 90 essential nutrients. I was on that product for a year. It made me feel good. My buddies liked it, right? Not my health buddies, just my regular buddies. They liked it. It gave them more energy, made them feel better. I liked it too, but it didn't fix my problem. So when I added that one product, it makes it sound like that one product fixed it, but it was not just that one product. I already had a baseline of all the other nutrients in my body. I was in a good location with lots of sun, eating fresh fish from the ocean, fresh chicken eggs, organic, all this stuff. I had all the other ducks in a row. I didn't have a digestion problem. I was eating very little food, actually, which means there's not much in the way. I'm saying that since that one product helped me, it only worked that well for me because I did everything else correctly. So I hate to see people going and running out and buying random products, even if it is, in my opinion, our best product and our most important product. I would still, most likely, 99% chance, start you on a gut rescue protocol before moving on to that product.
Right.
Yeah, not to mention,
Rarely
like,
is it that simple.
Not to mention, like, a lot of people just have bad reactions, like, at first, you don't want to have that.
It's totally possible to have a bad reaction to any product. And when we don't know anything about you, I can't morally just recommend a random product like that. I see a profile picture here it's this big. I can barely see it. It's the size of an M&M to me, right? That gives me almost no information about who you are. And okay, now I'm pulling it up. It's a little bit bigger. Okay, so you're an older man. That means you're very likely to have something going on the inside, long-term damage from processed foods. Making assumptions because I don't know you, but if we knew you better, we could give a better recommendation. But almost certainly you'd be started on a gut rescue first. And we'd want to check and make sure that there's nothing else going on that needs to be addressed. Do you have your gallbladder? Are you on any drugs? Do you take any supplements already? Maybe we don't want to double some things up. Maybe we won't want to lower some things. We want to look at everything that's going on so we can give a recommendation that makes sense. In the hopes that actually works. And it works way better when you get more information up front and you get a recommendation that makes sense for you.
All All right, next.
Someone was asking if milk can be problematic for psoriasis.
Milk can be problematic for anything if you're sensitive to dairy or if you lack stomach acid to a certain extent, I suppose. What say you, Ryan?
I agree.
Okay.
Milk is not on our bad list, but it can be on your bad list.
Right.
Absolutely, it can be on your bad list.
Yep.
It's on many people's bad lists. They just can't tolerate it.
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would really want to drink it anyway. You know, it's something you do when you're a baby. I like dairy products, but that's taking the milk and doing something to it. But I wouldn't sit there and drink a white fluid. I don't see a reason to do that, personally.
Same. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it. Milk is for babies.
Yeah.
I consider dairy to be more of a treat. It's more like a snack food to me.
Yeah, Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
Butter is technically dairy, but it feels like it's in its own category because the way it's processed.
Well, it mostly is because it has most of the protein removed, right? And when people react to milk, they're usually reacting to the protein.
Same with ghee. And ghee is even better. Ghee is.
Ghee is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who can't handle dairy, like they're lactose intolerant, but they can handle butter just fine, and also can handle clarified butter just fine.
Yep.
Many of those same people, they find that they do fine on raw dairy, or they find they do fine on goat or bison or camel or whatever, any other animal other than milk, cow milk, basically, they do better on. Yeah, when you're talking about skin problems, milk can cause a skin problem. It's usually gluten. It usually is gluten and just a processed food diet in general. It could be multiple nutrient deficiencies that can exist on their own, but we've seen it. Milk can absolutely cause a skin problem, and full-blown psoriasis is one of those possibilities.
All right, who's next?
Someone is saying recommendations on autoimmune disease, please, which kind of carries right off with what we were just saying.
Yeah, autoimmune typically comes from the gut. So if you come into our membership, we're going to go after the gut first and foremost. You know, autoimmune is an interesting thing because it's really all about, it's really the same thing. It just happens in different locations and they give it different names, you know, but we teach head to toe healing. So we're head to toe. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what type of autoimmune you have. It's going to get handled because we're going after the entire body. So
I agree. A leaky gut would be the number one thing that we would be looking at first and foremost.
yep.
And the top two suspects for autoimmune in general, and this doesn't just come from us, this is a pretty widespread thing across the alternative world, and even breaching into the mainstream world these days. Gluten and dairy, two top suspects, especially cow dairy,
Yep.
for causing the leaky gut. When the gut is leaky, now you're getting proteins into the blood that you were supposed to digest and break up first. And if they go into the blood, the body responds with an immune reaction because you're not supposed to have proteins in the blood. They're supposed to be broken up already. You're not supposed to have food particles in the blood.
Right.
And there can be more to it. There's always going to be multiple nutrient deficiencies anytime you have an immune problem, for sure. You could have a spinal misalignment. We haven't talked about posture, but you can absolutely have a spinal misalignment in there as well.
Yep.
Just making your overall body even weaker and even less able to defend against pathogens and proteins and so on. Less lymphatic drainage, all that stuff.
Well, the leaky gut is really coming from a nutritional deficiency because if the soft tissue was nice and tight and sturdy, there'd be no leaky gut to begin with. So, you know, everything can just keep coming back to that nutritional deficiency, you know. And that's what we would discover inside of our analysis if we did an analysis with you.
Bone strengthening for teens.
Bone strengthening for teens. Well, we're right back to just nutrition and just getting the 90 essential nutrients, making sure the hard tissue is topped off, and also doing postural alignment therapy because if you're out of alignment, your bones can get weak for sure. Your muscles are pulling them all over the place. Muscles move bones. Again, muscles move bones. What say you, Ryan?
Yeah, teens actually, well, children, babies, children, teens, they're all growing, right? So they actually need more nutrients per pound, just a higher density of nutrients than adults do to maintain. You always need more to heal than you do to maintain, but you also need more to grow than you do to maintain. So teens are under tremendous strain because they're already in a nutrient deficient world, nutrient deficient food supply, just like all of us. But they have so many extra demands because they're growing. And especially in those bone nutrients, their whole skeleton is growing. So we don't see a difference between a teenager and an adult. In fact, teenagers are usually a lot easier to deal with, and children, because they don't have decades of damage in their body and bad habits built up. And it's usually just as simple as giving them the correct nutrients. And yes, of course, getting them onto a posture a program. Even regular exercise itself should strengthen the bones, regular weight training and stuff. But if you train the muscles, like weight training in the gym, you're not doing anything about the posture. So all the small muscles behind the big muscles can still pull your skeleton out of whack. It's very common. If you go to a gym, you see practically everyone is out of alignment as well.
Yep.
So you want to do all these things no matter what age you are. It's just part of taking care of yourself. But yeah, with them it's easy. Adults are way harder. They have a whole bunch of inbuilt ideas and 20-year, 30-year, 50-year habits. Those habits can be hard to break. I've found teenagers quite easy to work with. As long as they're willing to make the basic commitment, it's usually pretty easy to deal with them. Children are even easier because you feed them. You're in control.
That's right. Who's next?
Blood pressure medication cause post-nasal drip constantly?
Maybe, I suppose, but post-nasal drip typically is a postural issue from my perspective. You know, it's just being out of alignment. Could just be a lymphatic thing as well. I'm sure Ryan can divulge more on nutrition as well.
Yeah, well, we don't know what drug we're talking about here, but all drugs are going to cause some kind of a problem in the body. They're going to interfere with certain enzymes. All of them are going to interfere with certain nutrients. So again, we don't know what blood pressure drug you're on. You could actually be on one of the blood pressure drugs that cause your body to hoard magnesium, which is common, which is it's interesting because, you know, my mind, whenever I think about that, my mind always goes to why not just take magnesium with its cofactors. You need magnesium to relax blood vessels. You need magnesium to help get rid of plaques and stuff in the arteries. You know, whatever the cause is of the blood pressure, because there's a few different causes. The magnesium should help with it. So should all of its cofactors. So when you have a drug that causes your body to retain more of that one nutrient, it sounds like a good thing until you realize that that drug is also interfering with other things in the body and with other nutrients. So it's hoarding one, but it's causing an imbalance. And there already was an imbalance to begin with. So blood pressure drugs can cause many, many weird problems. You read the side effects on your drug, I bet you'll see a whole bunch of things there. Could it cause post-nasal drip? That's probably not on the pamphlet, but it can definitely mess with your immune system. It could definitely mess with, again, many of your other nutrients, which would in turn be causing the post-nasal drip, most likely. But almost any drug can cause almost any symptom.
Absolutely.
When you get down to it.
And we get people off of, we help people get themselves off of blood pressure drugs all the time. So it's just a matter of head to toe healing. Blood pressure is really a head to toe issue. It's systemic.
Yeah.
Next person.
It's in the metabolic category, which means it's not caused usually just by one thing. And we hit all those things. Okay, let me jump to another platform. Facebook. What is the best protocol for someone who has type 2 diabetes / insulin resistance, along with severe plaque of the arteries? I don't consume any oils, nor do I fry my foods. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we help people in this category all the time. Their testimonies are on the website, and it's just a matter of getting in there and following it. But you got to get off the poor for foods. You got to get the proper nutrients inside of you. You have to do your postural alignment therapy. You have to, there are certain products that can clean up the arteries as well. So, yeah, there's a great testimony of this guy, Ken, who's on the website just from a few weeks ago. Right? So, yeah, I mean, I can't give you an exact protocol in a public setting, but we do have our membership waiting for you.
And guys, like I said before, giving an exact protocol on the internet randomly to someone that we don't know their stats, how old are you, how much do you weigh, what country are you in, that matters. Product availability matters. It's different in different places. Again, do you have any organs taken out? Are you on any drugs? I like to know a little bit about your eating habits. There's all kinds of things that we should take into account to design a smart protocol for you. It's not copy and paste, and it never has been. I've never used copy paste protocols since we've been doing this. And I'm actually a bit obsessed with the blood sugar issue. I've written a book about blood sugar, and I've been working kind of obsessively for the last few years on a second edition for that book. And I did this because it's such a widespread problem. It's such a widespread problem. It's like a third. This is what the mainstream says. If you combine diabetes and pre-diabetes, it's like a third of the American population has a recognizable, a medically significant blood sugar problem. Now, if you expand that to what we consider to be in the blood sugar category, it's more than half. It's more than half. It's more than 1 out of every 2 person has some kind of a blood sugar problem, even if it's not recognized by the medical world. So it's just such a massive, massive problem that I really, really wanted to figure it out. And it wasn't difficult to figure out, to be honest. Even before I wrote that book, I've seen people get off of their blood sugar drugs and blood pressure drugs at the same time in as little as 4 days. I've seen it plenty of times in a week or 2. I've had maybe a small handful of cases that were a little bit trickier, just with blood sugar specifically. But they also had other metabolic symptoms, and it was a little bit tougher to figure them out. But in general, this is one of the easiest things to reverse that there is. And many of these people who got off their drugs even very quickly did it with permission from their doctors. They got themselves tested and determined that, they actually didn't have diabetes anymore. In a week. It's possible. It's possible to do it correctly. And if you already are off oils and fried foods, that's fantastic. You're ahead of the game. And you've already shown that you're willing to make certain commitments, right? If you're not willing to change anything, then it's not going to change. But you've already proven that. But we would still need to know more about you and have you in the membership to give you an actual protocol and help guide you through it, because it might not only take 2 weeks. That's not a promise. I'm just saying I've seen that before many times. It might take a month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month. It might. You might have a more difficult metabolic problem in there. You might have something else that you didn't bring up here. Someone with diabetes is almost guaranteed to have other problems in the body that you're not asking about. So we're there to help you not only get the blood sugar under control, get the blood pressure under control, get the main diabetes symptoms under control, and to the point where they don't exist. We're hoping they just disappear as possible. I've seen it many, many times. And then help you sort out whatever else is going on. Did the diabetes cause you to gain 100 pounds? I don't know. I don't know you. Over the course of the year, this is what we're pitching here. Over the course of the year, we're hoping to get rid of all that other stuff, or at least significantly bring down your symptom score, which is what happens when you first do the analysis with Dr. Reese. You get a symptom score. And our whole aim in this year that you get with your initial membership is to bring that symptom score down, way down, way down. I'd like it at 0, but Dr. Reese is a little bit more realistic on that.
Under 5.
Under 5. But we're aiming for 0. If we get to 5 and you start off at 40, I mean, that's a huge, huge win either way. Your life is totally changed at that point.
Yeah. Levi, you got any?
Yeah, Rena. Actually, I'm going to go up. Someone's asking, what do you do for bloating and brain fog after food consumption?
Well, bloating is more than likely an acid issue. Not enough acid in the stomach. So that's something we deal with all the time and have great success with. And certainly you can use salt to your advantage. But yeah, it's an pretty easy fix. Unless it's
Gut
SIBO. If it's SIBO, then it might take a little longer. That's a different kind of bloating, right? But yeah, we have the gut rescue. We have everyone do that as soon as they enter the membership, no matter what their condition is. Next.
Yeah, so someone's asking, what about oxalates? Are those bad? Like, what about those?
I mean, certainly over consuming, might become a problem. What do you think, Ryan, with oxalates?
If you're a raw vegan, yes. If you're not a raw vegan, spend less time on the internet. Because these things just get everyone all freaked out, and they're constantly trying to find all the problems with every single food, and there's problems with every food. There's
Yeah.
good and bad things to say about every single food.
Yep.
So you can cause health anxiety in yourself, and that health anxiety can cause literally new problems. This is not a joke. We deal with people all the time who are so caught up in all this TikTok knowledge and bro science.
TikTok knowledge.
And they think everything is bad for them, and in some ways it is. It's true. There's poisons everywhere, the parasites everywhere, the air, the water, the food. All this stuff, pesticides, heavy metals. It can drive you nuts.
Yeah.
And for many people, it actually does drive them nuts, and it consumes their life. And you need to relax. All of the longest lived, healthiest populations consume oxalates. All of them also consume nightshades. Some of it is raw. Some of it is cooked. It's balanced with other foods. It's balanced with other nutrients, high nutrient intake in general. And it's not a problem for them. If you consume exclusive, like say cruciferous vegetables, just a separate example. Cruciferous vegetables suppress the thyroid. They're called goitrogens. But they're not a bad food. In fact, they're almost unanimously considered one of the healthiest foods that there is. If you eat 100% broccoli and Brussels sprouts raw, you will have a problem. It will suppress your thyroid. You'll have a metabolic problem. If you cook them, if you steam them, even better if you boil them, and you have other foods in your diet, you're going to have no problem at all. You'll never notice it. You would never even know about it if you didn't read about it on the internet or hear me say it right now. It's the same with oxalates. Most of it's broken down from cooking. Lots of people are confusing it with a histamine reaction. Several essential nutrients are antihistamines, including vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, and others. And all of those have many cofactors, so you don't just go out and run and buy those 3 nutrients. That'll do nothing for you. You have it all in a balanced recipe, and your body should not be having any histamine reactions. You should never notice it. You should consume vegetables and never notice it. And if you find yourself sensitive to a bunch of foods, you have a metabolic problem or a digestion problem or both. And both of those are correctable. It's very common for people to be very sensitive to a bunch of foods, and they do all this research and they say, that's why it's oxalates, it's phytates, it's goitrogens, it's all this stuff. No, it's not. It's you. It's not the food. And you are changeable. Your terrain is changeable. Your nutrient status is changeable. Your digestion status is changeable. And you should be able to eat these foods without ever noticing it.
That's right. Who's next?
Someone's asking.
I like this format, by the way. A lot of people say, Dr. Reese, you never answer my question. Well, we're giving it to you right here.
Oh, Ryan's here to pick it up.
And we can't give you everything. People are asking, like, there's a couple people asking here, like, so, do I have to be a member to get your vitamins? Optimally, yes. We want you to get the proper result. We can't just be giving out protocols at random. It doesn't make sense.
It's dangerous.
For Dr. Reese, legally it's dangerous, and physically it's dangerous too. You gotta stay away from that.
I wrote a book called Medical Monopoly. Come on, really? It's like, oh, some people just don't get it. It's okay.
And I did this for years, by the way. I did this for years, giving people protocols and stuff. The problem is, so many people need help that it becomes all-consuming. It becomes an 80-hour, 100-hour a week job all of a sudden. Commissions on products are not enough to justify the effort. We don't make that much off products itself. And for years, it bothered me because I knew Dr. Reese got better results than me. Anyone who hasn't heard this before should hear it. It bothered me for years that Dr. Reese got better results than me. And it was obvious why that was true. It was because he was doing more than just nutrition. Nutrition is extremely important. I've built my life on it and my career on it. But I've always known there are other things. There are other things that can impact your health, including posture, including mindfulness, believe it or not. Your mind, your attitude, your diseases of attitude can create problems that have nothing to do with nutrition that you might think are nutritional. The community aspect that we have in the program there is very powerful for people as well. Very often, I've had customers give up. They get a great protocol and they give up on it. They hit a road bump and they give up on it. They don't want to bother me. They don't, whatever it is, they don't follow through on it. They don't get the result. In the membership setting, not only do you get the nutritional guidance, you also get the intensive postural alignment therapy, which can do things that nutrition can't. You also have numerous resources available in there for mindfulness training. It's constant. You could spend all day in the membership consuming what's in there. This is on top of all the learning stuff that we have. We have educational modules to teach about the nutrition and about protocols and all this stuff. There's so much in there. Then you also get the community on top of it to feel like you're part of something. And that seems to help a lot of people a big time. But also, we purposefully lock you in for a year. It's a year membership.
That's right.
Because it takes time to heal things.
You gotta make the commitment.
That is the commitment. If you get a protocol and you run away with it, and you do it for a month or 2 or 3, and it doesn't work, and we didn't change something because you didn't contact us, and all this stuff, you changed your mind. You got some new information, and you know maybe this one's bad for me, and you got the health anxiety. It's not going to be fixed. 2, 3, 4 years later, the problem's still going to be there.
Yep.
We want you to give us a year, and with that commitment already in place, so that we can help you bring your symptom score down as far as possible within that time.
Yeah.
We don't want to sell supplements randomly. And let me say this, Dr. Reese, while we're on this subject. Sometimes I see comments like, "Oh, well, Dr. Berg gives away lots of information."
Oh, geez.
Well, and it's true, he does.
He does.
Well, go on his website. I'm not knocking Dr. Berg. I like Dr. Berg. Go on his website. See how many different supplements he's selling. Each new video gets you excited for one new supplement. All of a sudden, you've got 20 or 40 supplements in your cupboard. You don't even know which ones are working. You're spending $300, $400, $500 a month. You're still having your problem.
People don't understand that the influencers that give a lot of info on social media are supplement sellers. They can't wrap their head around it. And they try and knock us because we withhold our information a little bit. We're not supplement pushers. We have supplements, but we're selling head to toe healing. Head to toe. It doesn't matter if you have eye issues, mouth issues, cardiovascular issues, foot issues, knee issues, hip issues, brain issues. It's going to get handled in one swoop. And these other guys don't do that. Same with Miss O'Neill, Mrs. O'Neill. Same with her. If you look really closely, you'll see. And so we're not like that. And if we were, maybe we'd have $1 billion company. But that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're here for. We're here to promote head to toe healing. Yes.
It's easier to sell supplements.
Way easier.
It is easier. Just trust me. I know some of these people who sell the Shilajit and the Irish sea moss and the whatever. The shock supplements. You've all seen it, I'm sure. I've been offered to sell these products. I know for a fact I would make more money if I did it, and it would be so much easier to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we genuinely want people to get results. I grew up in pain. If you didn't know my story, I'm not going to give you the whole story, but I grew up in pain. I lived in constant pain for the first 25 years of my life. I know what it's like, right? You couldn't pay me anything to go back to that. Many of you people have been suffering just as long or longer. The reason I'm in this business is to help other people do what I did. Dr. Reese is only in this business because he had a health problem and he saw the light. He realized the scam of the medical monopoly. He fixed himself. He learned how to fix himself. He also figured out how hard it was to do that. You have to become a doctor, basically, to learn all this stuff. So he's here to help you do it for the same reason. Almost everyone in this business, unless they just went to school to be a doctor because they thought it would be a good career, everyone I know in this business got into it because they had a health problem and they want to help other people.
That's right.
And some people figure it's easier to sell supplements and it gets, it benefits people, and it does. It just doesn't fully fix problems. Buying this and that supplement and 20 different supplements and trying every new diet that comes out every 2-3 years, it'll get you so far. A lot of people, it'll get their problem under control. But it won't fix the problem. It won't reverse the cause, as Dr. Reese says with his brand new cover on that book. You want to show the new cover you got?
Where to go? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, new cover. Boom.
You got to reverse the cause.
Reverse the cause. 10 books. 10 books. 10 books. All right. Who's next? We're running out of time.
Do you help people with COPD?
Yeah, I mean, it's between the head and the toe. I mean, it's an advanced lung condition. I've seen results with it. And yeah, certainly somebody that's committed will find results in our membership.
I've found it to be one of the easiest things to reverse, honestly, and that shocks people. I don't know why the COPD issue shocks people so much. I've had it for 50 years, they tell me. I've seen it go away in weeks.
Yeah. It's soft tissue. Lungs are soft tissue, just like your intestines or your calf muscle or whatever. Soft tissue is soft tissue.
My son suffers with cankers on throat and is lactose intolerant. Seems acidic foods trigger too. He's 27. What would you suggest?
I suggest a lifestyle change, and that lifestyle change is head to toe healing. There's no magic ointment or formula or cream. It's just getting healthy and getting that immune system in order.
Take this back to the oxalate thing. Acidic foods trigger, or you hear this all the time too. Spicy foods trigger. I can't do spicy foods. Can't do this. Can't do that. Don't blame the food, unless it's one of the bad foods. Like you're supposed to react to gluten. Don't blame the food. Blame the person. Blame the terrain. Fix the guts. Requires some commitment. Like Dr. Reese said, it requires some commitment. Fix the guts. If that's his only problem, and we only have to focus on the guts, it's fantastic. While he's there, he can fix his posture and stick with that for life. And he can get on a baseline program of the 90 essential nutrients to make sure that he doesn't, or give him the best possible chance of not getting any new problems in the future. If the guts aren't fixed, there's going to be new problems in the future. Chances are that can be straightened out in as little as a month. Might take a bit longer. Depends on his level of commitment, and it depends on what else is going on. Sons don't always tell their mothers everything else that's going on. There could be some other issues there that need to be straightened out as well. As soon as the guts are a problem, other problems are inevitable. It's just a matter of time.
For anyone that's just checking in right now, we're doing a surprise live, and a lot of people are asking where they can get the books. That's drkevinreese.com. drkevinreese.com. That's the hub of everything we do. You can also watch all of our testimonies there. It's the most healing results ever recorded on video. Period. Not Dr. Berg, not Barbara O'Neill, not Dr. Sabi. No. Go look. I guarantee you. We have the most results ever. And may I add, in the shortest time. Why? Because of head to toe healing. If everyone watching this understood head to toe healing, their questions would completely change. That's how we know you don't know head to toe healing. When you ask a question that is about your sciatica or your psoriasis or your migraines or your bunions or your gut issues or your vision issues. If you understood head to toe healing, these questions would not even take place. So we're on a mission to make people understand. It's a very challenging mission. Very challenging mission. Next
Someone on
question.
TikTok is saying, how do I sign up for the membership? Go to drkevinreese.com and on the
/start.
top,
Yeah.
well, /start, yeah, or you can go to start now on the menu, and that it walks you through exactly what to do.
Absolutely. Schedule a call, get your analysis, get in. Boom, boom, boom. 3 steps.
We've got a man here asking about hyperthyroidism. A lot of people still think that it's a woman's problem. It's not. It affects both sexes. It's widespread, just like blood sugar. It's in the same metabolic category. He said, I was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, was on 40 milligrams of methimazole, which is a drug that blocks the thyroid, kind of kills the thyroid over time. Stopped the medication 3 weeks ago. Do not want to go back on medication. So that's not really a question, but what do you think we can offer this man?
Yeah, I mean, the thyroid is in between the head and the toes. So if he practiced head to toe healing, he would get better and his symptoms would go down. And I guarantee you that it's not just his thyroid. It's his spine, it's his hips, it's his knees, it's his feet, it's his gut. This is a whole body thing. This is a comprehensive thing. But people have been programmed and brainwashed by the medical monopoly to just care about their little diagnosis. Your diagnosis does not matter, and it never will. It's just you don't know that yet.
And that's particularly true with thyroid, because when the thyroid is wrong, whether it's high or low, things can be going wrong everywhere in the body. Like people with thyroid can come in with 20, 40, 50 symptoms. It's crazy. Their whole life is ruined. They've got every symptom you can think of. And they've got other full-blown diseases many times. And a bunch of food sensitivities and all this stuff. And they could be flipping between high thyroid and low thyroid. And they can have 5 symptoms of low thyroid and 6 symptoms of high thyroid. They can have this crazy picture. And you might think it's 20 different problems, but it's really not. There might be a few different root causes in there. Other than nutrients, Dr. Reese, one of the things I didn't understand before we met, before I started reading your books and learning about your philosophy, I didn't understand how posture could be affecting many things. Like, I knew I had a posture problem. Well, you pointed it out to me. I had a posture problem. I was born with my hips dislocated. I had childhood arthritis and all kinds of other symptoms. Nutrition fixed the pain and the cramping and the twitching and the tics and all that stuff, the insomnia. Nutrition fixed all that, but it didn't fix my posture. But it was obvious, you pointed these things out, and I said, well, yeah, it's because I was born that way. So, but that was just a posture problem. I didn't see how the posture could contribute to other, like a metabolic problem in the body. I didn't understand that the straight back or whatever, lumbar being off could affect the gut until I started to read your books and get it. Like, oh well, yeah, of course, all the nerves run through all these bones, and the bones bully the muscles bully the bones, and if the bones are out of place, then the nerves can be out of place, and the lymphatic drainage and all this stuff. But it really hit me when you pointed out that the thyroid, obviously it's in the neck,
Yep.
and obviously many people have this cervical flexion. You call it the tech neck.
Yep.
Everybody's doing this all the time now.
Yep.
Right? Everybody, literally 99.8% of people, if you go outside and look at them, they all have cervical flexion.
Yep.
And that's compressing the thyroid, yeah?
That's right. And it's a great example of how your postural misalignments can affect anything, right? So when that thoracic spine is rounded and humped, here's our guy here, when this humps, and that neck comes forward, it absolutely can affect the thyroid and the throat and the esophagus and the lungs and the diaphragm and the heart. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. And that's head to toe healing.
But he needs many nutrients. Posture alignment therapy. The mindfulness should help him as well. We didn't really talk about how mindfulness can help as well with basically any problem. You want to talk about mindfulness for a minute? Because people don't understand that that's the third pillar. Nutrition's pretty easy to understand once you kind of get it. And you could talk. I could talk all day about different nutrients being involved in different problems. Posture makes more sense too once you hear it put that way, right? The nerves and all that stuff. Okay, yeah, of course, it's a nerve. Nerves go to every organ, and if they're compressed or misaligned, that could cause a problem in the organ. Okay, that makes sense. The thyroid, you put pressure on it and choke off the nerves and the lymph flow. Makes some sense. But what about mindfulness?
Yeah, mindfulness is all about the computer in your skull. And the computer in your skull is connected to your spine. And then your spine is connected to everything else. So your thoughts and your emotions are very, very much a source of problems, whether it's your liver or your knee pain, right? So we help you get that in order and start cleansing out all this stuff that you have stored, and that's going to help you heal. Some people can heal off mindfulness alone. Some people can heal off nutrition alone. Some people can heal off postural alignment therapy alone. But we put it all together and created head to toe healing. So your chances are pretty great over here, I think.
One thing I've noticed, I don't know if you've ever touched on this, but especially after getting to know some of our members a little bit better, I realized very early that we attracted a lot of people with that health anxiety I was talking about. Chronic dieters, cupboards full of 40 products, been trying for years to fix whatever the problem is, very frustrated with it, very consumed with it, read a lot about it, watch a lot of videos about it, just become obsessed with this quest of fixing themselves. And I call it health anxiety. But what I've realized is that a lot of these people had other anxieties already. They already had other issues, other inner child issues, other traumas that they've been carrying around all this time. And my theory is that a lot of that was projected onto their health, first of all. And second of all, a lot of that baggage, that emotional, psychological baggage, probably contributed to their problem in the first place.
Absolutely. Something that happened to you when you were 12 years old could affect you when you're 52 years old. So we got to cleanse it out. And it's the hardest part. It's the hardest part, too.
It takes the most commitment.
It takes the most commitment. It does.
On top of all that, say you were perfectly mentally healthy to begin with. If you have a health problem, a physical health problem, it will probably cause a mental problem. They almost always go hand in hand. And the longer you have that physical problem, that physical pain, it'll probably cause a mental pain as well. Especially if you were like me and your problem stopped you from living life, right? Where I was physically incapable of doing the things that I wanted to do. That causes mass amounts of frustration and regret and, guilt for every thing that I had to cancel because I couldn't go because I was in too much pain, and the girlfriend wanted to go but I couldn't go, and I had to leave early and my buddies wanted me to stay, and I just all this stuff. You're missing out on life, fear of missing out, all this stuff. Physical pain usually causes mental pain, especially if it debilitates you, which is not just true in the bone and joint category like I had, but also in the metabolic category. Again, lots of people with these metabolic issues, they're suffering, they're obese, they're ashamed, they have no energy, they sleep terribly, all this stuff. Then they get on this super restricted diet, because of, they think it's helping them, and then that causes all kinds of new anxieties when they go, I can't eat out, I can't go to the barbecue, can't do all this. It can make your life a mess. Physical can make your mental life a mess as well.
Sure can. And for anyone checking in right now, you just got to go to drkevinreese.com. drkevinreese.com. The books are there, the testimonies are there, and all the information that you need to move closer to head to toe healing is there.
Dr. Reese, my mom and I always argue about which doctors I should go to with the medical monopoly or you, because she thinks you're a fake doctor, and then I tell her you're right.
I am a fake doctor. We even have t-shirts called I Love My Fake Doctor on drkevinreese.com. But
A real doctor can't offer you head to toe healing. They're not taught that.
right.
They're not even taught one of the pillars.
Nope. Everyone has to make a decision. There's 3 paths, right? You could take a left. That's going to be your medical monopoly. We know where that ends. Outside of emergencies, that's probably not going to end well. Somewhere in the middle, you can probably find some holistic doctors, some functional doctors, some chiropractors, some PT, all these people who can probably help you a little bit. But then all the way on the right, you have head to toe healing. And that's head to toe. Everything. Naturally. And so in our opinion, that's the path.
I wanted to add something. Does it matter your age? If you're 70, someone's asking, they're going to be 70. Is that too late?
No, it's never too late. It's never too late. You have to break a lot of limiting beliefs because you got 70-something years of, programming. But no, it's never too late. Some people just give up.
A lot of people give up.
They just give up.
I'd like to add, hey, I actually think there's a 4th path. The 4th path is doing nothing at all.
Sure.
And I was actually very lucky that my doctor gave up on me. He said, Ryan, I don't know. Him and my other doctors that I grew up with, they told me I'd be in a wheelchair by the time I was 50, point blank. That's it. And, my regular family doctor, he tried muscle relaxants, sleeping pills, antidepressants, antipsychotics, because I also had, my brain was messed up too at the same time. It wasn't just physical. As I mentioned, they go hand in hand, especially if there's a metabolic issue in there. But, he's painkillers, all anti-inflammatories, all this stuff. And he said, Ryan, none of this is working. We don't have a surgery to fix your arthritis. Because I didn't just have it in joints. I had it in my whole body. He said, we can't replace your spine.
Yeah.
There's no option for you here. There's no surgery. You've tried all the drugs aren't working. What do you want to do? Stay on the drugs? No, they make me feel worse. Okay. We shook hands and parted ways. And I didn't go searching for specialists because I knew there was no specialist to fix, well, I would call it stiff man syndrome now. There's no specialist to fix stiff man syndrome. My best case scenario, they give me immune suppressant drugs on the theory that it's an immune problem, which it wasn't. So I knew there was no option, so I just marched on through life. And yeah, the pain got worse over the years, but at least I didn't get a bunch of unnecessary surgeries and took a bunch of unnecessary drugs and injections and stuff that would have got me nowhere anyways. A lot of people find themselves on that path number 4, just doing nothing about it, and they're actually a lot better in many cases than path number 1 or 2. Saves you money too. At least I didn't spend any money on things that didn't work, right?
Right.
I tried chiropractic a few times, like way later in life.
You were pretty messed up, huh?
So,
You were pretty messed up, huh?
No, I was totally messed up. Ruined my life. Well, I didn't have a life. Didn't have a childhood. Was stuck in pain. And that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. That's it.
So maybe we can do a couple more. Someone's asking very quickly, what is the price of the membership? Before we answer that, Dr. Reese, I'd like to say, this is our first one that we've done together. We've been thinking about doing this for a while, but I want you guys in the comments. If you appreciate this style, this is different than we've ever done. Put it in the comments so we know, because this was a test. If you thought this was good, you want us to do it again, put it in the comments right now.
Yeah, it's a little different than what we do on Tuesdays. So
what's the price of the membership?
the membership's $950 a year. It's not even $1,000. It's crazy.
Most memberships cost more than that. people, if you didn't know. Most of them cost more than that.
Yeah, especially your health insurance membership. You probably pay that a month, $9.50. Yeah.
Someone's asking, can Hashimoto's be caused by old tooth fillings in a root canal? Should they be removed?
Could be
Two-part
caused
question.
by anything. Could be caused by anything. Could be caused by nutrition. Could be caused by postural misbalances. Could be caused by your brain, mindfulness. Yeah, it could be caused by what you have in your mouth too. Absolutely.
Yeah, the flip side of that coin, I would say fillings, if they're metal, that means they're 50% mercury. And root canals by themselves can cause any symptom, anything. Absolutely. Should they be removed? Absolutely. That's not something we can do for you, but we talk about it. I recommend anyone that has metal fillings get them removed immediately by a proper biological dentist and root canals. And it can be pretty expensive to remove root canals, much more than our membership, to be honest, but it should be done immediately, ASAP.
To add to this, someone's asking how much would it be if they joined with their daughter?
Well, if the daughter's a minor, then nothing. You just share the screen.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from watching the screen at the same time.
Right. If your daughter's an adult, then yeah, we would hope that you honor us and, pay in full.
There's a lot of feedback that people want this format. They like it. They love it.
Okay, good.
And I got another question. How much time in the day do you need to have to spend for head to toe healing with, those that have busy lives?
Who doesn't have a busy life?
Yeah, we all have a busy life. It's a practice that goes with you, But we're live once a day, so an hour a day, if you can, with us, plus the on-demand classes. You do that on your own time, and then we have the community. You do that on your own time. We have courses, we have classes, we have community. We have people all over the world. Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Africa, Nigeria, UK, USA, Canada. This is a worldwide thing. There is no more going to the doctor and sitting down in the office. It's over. It is over. If you're still doing it, you're in the wrong place. You're going in the wrong direction. If you want head to toe healing, you get into the membership and you just do what you're supposed to do. And all of a sudden you start getting better. And the symptoms they drop away. It couldn't be any more simpler.
And you don't have to catch the live classes for the posture and the nutrition classes, by the way. You can watch the replays. Of course, it's better to be there live. And yeah, they're an hour. We have an hour each day, right? 7 days a week. There's something going on for an hour. The nutrition classes are usually 2 hours, actually, because we get so many questions from the members about themselves mostly. What do I do next, kind of thing. And that usually takes about 2 hours, but those are somewhat optional. All the courses that are in there, once you watch them and learn them, now you know that stuff. It's like a college course, to be honest, the amount of nutrition stuff that's in there. But an hour a day for the posture, that's actually double than what took me to fix my posture, right? Dr. Reese, you gave me a protocol that was basically a half an hour. Sometimes it was a little bit longer. It was like 40 minutes sometimes, but I could bang it out in half an hour most of the time. And in 6 weeks, it fixed my duck feet and my other, spinal misalignment. 6 weeks, flat, fixed it. So you still have to keep up with it. I don't have to do the whole routine anymore just to stay, aligned. But as you see, I'm sitting crooked here right now. My desk is kind of small, actually, and the monitor's this way, and I got to turn a little bit. Give me a little bit of pain and like this for a while. I'll do a little bit of posture alignment therapy and go on with my day. Doesn't have to be a big, huge time commitment. The posture is a structured. It's like going to the gym. You need to physically go and do it. You need to physically do the motions. Supplementing is the easiest thing in the world. It takes you 5 minutes to supplement, throughout the day. It's not a big deal. You mix things in your drink and you drink it through the day. And you
Yeah, supplementing's easy. Eating is
no
easy
time
too.
commitment at all.
Eating is easy too, really, as long as you're prepared. Yeah, the posture classes, you got to show up. You got to
you
actually
learn
do
how-
something. You know? Is he paused?
Yeah.
Mindfulness can take some time.
Oh, the mindfulness. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mindfulness can take some time, but all this is up to you doing it at your own pace. We have resources available for you.
Yeah.
What do you think about doing one more question?
Where are we getting the most questions? What platform?
Oh man, there's a lot on all of them actually.
Yeah, there is.
Levi, what do you think the best question is or the most interesting question is?
From what I see right now, how do you fix acid reflux?
You already mentioned that.
Well, that's what I see in front of me. So I'm just. Do you want me to scroll or what?
Stomach acid, guys. Low reflux is almost always caused by low stomach acid. I said almost because there's other possibilities, but most of the time, by far, it's caused by low stomach acid.
I got
Stomach
some stuff.
acid is made from salt
And calcium.
and calcium, and there's enzymes in the stomach as well. And the body needs to be working correctly in general and have many more materials to make those enzymes and make it all work perfect. So you might hear us say that it's just salt. It's not. Salt is a major part of it, and it's a major part in fixing low stomach acid in the first place. But we do all of it. We don't just use salt. We use some other agents as well to help acidify the stomach. And when the stomach, it's worth just going in for a minute on this, because people might think, oh, it's just as easy as salt. Well, if you get off the poor four foods, first of all, your reflux will probably improve. Many times it does improve just from that. There was even a couple people in the comments that were like, just go gluten-free and it gets rid of the reflux or something, or get off oils. It's true. If you get off the poor four foods, most of the time your stomach acid and reflux should improve. If you add more salt and do we have a salt recommendation, a specific one. If you do that, sure, it should be fixed. But when you have low stomach acid, the only problem is not reflux and nutrient malabsorption. Those are givens. That happens. But what also happens is the low stomach acid tells your pancreas to produce less enzymes, less bicarbonate. We're not going to explain why that's completely important. There's modules in the membership to fully explain that. But when that happens, you're guaranteed now to have problems in other parts of the digestion system. So if people are thinking, oh, it's just as simple as just fixing the stomach acid, I mean, that's a big part of it, yes. But the other part is restoring the entire digestive system. Because that low stomach acid tells the rest of your digestion system to slow down and stop doing this and do more of this, and it throws everything out of whack.
Yeah.
So when people come in with stomach acid problems, we want to reconstitute and refortify the whole digestive system before moving on, including the stomach acid. Just saying.
All right. So everyone watching, if you're interested in what we do, you should go to drkevinreese.com. There's a Start Now button. You can see the process of how to get to the membership. There's 3 steps. You can also buy a book. There's 10 of them. And start learning what head-to-toe healing is. Again, if you knew what head-to-toe healing is, your questions would completely change. Right now, your questions are very medical monopolized. You're asking medical monopoly questions, okay? We're trying to help you convert to head-to-toe healing. This is the new phenomenon. This is the new healthcare. This is the new deal. Okay?
Looks like we got a lot of people wanting us to do this again, so chances are we will.
Yeah, but we won't have a set time. It'll just be a surprise.
It'll be a secret. It means you have to stay on the page all day to just watch to see it for live.
All right. Well, appreciate you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Levi. And thank you for everyone for watching. Again, drkevinreese.com.
You know, I just thought of something very quickly. I think on YouTube, if they subscribe on YouTube to Dr. Reese and they hit the notification bell, then that should actually alert them when we're live. I think that's the only platform that'll do it on.
Yeah. No, YouTube is a great platform for live, for sure. Follow me on YouTube. That is, and the content is completely different on YouTube than it is on the others too. FYI. So, all right. It's been real.
Thank you, everybody. Stay healthy, everyone. We'll see you next time.